someone who's very familiar with all things military, First Lieutenant Austin von Letkemann, who joins us right now for a conversation about the military. And you're all filled up. And tell us what your involvement in all of this. Well, we're live there over on the parade route in all of this, and what you bring to the table, so to speak. I think I saw some of this earlier.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So the Army actually brought out a number of content creators. There's about 8 of us. And so we're just covering the events of the Army's 250th birthday. It's really cool. It's a once-in-a-generation type event, and we are super excited to be here.
So you're like, well, you're not like you are. You're an influencer, but you're trying to influence people and convince them the Army's pretty cool, right? I didn't even know the Army did that kind of thing. But talk about modernizing the United States Army. They've modernized.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So it's been really, really interesting. There's been a lot of trust that the Army's extended to us. I think we've represented it well so far, but this is brand new. This is really the first time anything like this has ever happened.
I know you came in from Texas, right, to be here. Tell me what you do. How do you use the tools available to you, social media and the rest, to tell people about, I just mentioned to Colonel Williams, the recruiting numbers being up, but to tell people that, hey, the Army's, it might be a pretty good place for you. How do you use social media effectively?
Yeah, so, a lot of us have different styles. Some of us do news-type content. Some of us, do serious storytelling. I use comedy. I think comedy is really powerful. I think it's a leadership tool, even. And so I use comedy to kind of tell people, anybody can serve. Anybody can wear the uniform. It kind of humanizes it, so to speak. And so that's what I do. I do skits online.
I'm kind of debating amongst myself. I'm arguing with myself right now in my own head. I'm like, should I ask him to do it? This could be a disaster. So do you have any examples you could give us? You know what I mean? Like, could a guy like me even be in the Army? Or like, what do you mean you use comedy? Like, what do you make fun of people and say, oh, you could still be in there? Like, what's an example?
Yeah, so like one of the things that I joke about pretty often is, we do formations in the military a lot. And sometimes you'll find yourself standing somewhere for a couple hours and nobody has any idea why. And so I just joke about the normal things that we deal with in the military, kind of the nuance of military culture. And, it allows us to laugh at ourselves a little bit, but it also shows people, things that maybe we need to work on. And so I think it does a good job of balancing that in a professional way.
What do you need to work on? A lot? What's an example of something that the Army could get better at, or that the soldiers, the rank and file says, oh, man, I wish we didn't have this? The food, or?
I'd say, honestly, communication. Communication is the biggest hang-up for a lot of people, both up and down. And that's what, a lot of times, the things that I joke about are from, when communication deteriorates, which sometimes that happens in the military.
We're in the communications business and TV, and I'll tell you, we have the same problem. They can help us, too. Oftentimes, we can't communicate with each other either. That's the problem. All right, what about tonight? What are you excited about? What have you seen so far? Like I said earlier, I was over everything going on today in the news. It's been crazy, but I was over there earlier, and there was a lot of enthusiasm for servicemen and women on the mall. And what about tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been really excited, been really blessed to meet a lot of our senior leaders. They're really excited about what we're doing. I'm excited to see the parade. Again, it's 250 years. The United States Army has existed longer than the nation has. And so the fact that we're now honoring that is really, really cool. Seeing everybody out here dressed the best that they can be with all the equipment and stuff, and just telling the Army's story, which is a bunch of normal people that chose to raise their right hand and serve their country. And, when we come together, when you bring a bunch of normal people together, we do some incredible things, and we have for 250 years.
Absolutely. One kind of serious question at the end here. We're talking so much about how the country's divided, and there's so much of the, and today, I guess, is an example of that. Do you feel like the American people are behind you? Do you feel supported as part of the United States Army?
I do. So I feel like the American people support the military. I really do. I'm very blessed. I get, messages from people across the social media platforms where I'm able to, and people, continually give me words of encouragement. They enjoy the content, and they love what we do.
That's interesting to me. I mean, and here's why, because like people say it all the time, especially people who are well-known, far more well-known than me. They say, well, I don't read the comments. You know, you hear that. They don't
Sure,
look,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They don't want to look, or I don't believe people, by the way, who say that. I think those people probably read every single comment and get angry about people that are going after them. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't read the comments. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But let's just say for example, maybe they don't. But you say you actually get positive feedback on social media. I mean, that's not everybody does.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I get my fair share. You know, I've got my naysayers too. But overwhelmingly, and I think it's because I use comedy, overwhelmingly, I have a positive response to what I do.
So when you say you use, so this is officially sanctioned, right? How did this all start? By the Army, I'm saying, or is it not? Is it kind of a side gig? I mean, how'd you get into this?
Well, right now, sir, we're piloting the program. And so, you know, the hope is that we have a program where the Army can use content creators and influencers to help reach the audience that they're kind of hoping to reach. You know, we reach a younger crowd, especially like on YouTube, for example. And so that's kind of, we're trying to partner a little bit here. But it is completely brand new. You know, it's not an official program yet, but we're hoping it becomes one.
All right, well, good luck with it. That was interesting. It was a good conversation, and you know, we'll be covering the parade tonight. Enjoy yourself, okay? Thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.